Okay, sup, you chuckle fucks? It's your boy here, Dark Raccoon here with What If Issei had ate three devil fruits, but yeah. So yeah, he has ate three devil fruits. Now, before I continue on, I should mention one thing. The reason why I'm actually doing another What If is because I don't really have, I haven't really rewatched any of the other What Ifs since yesterday I was kind of working. Even though I managed to upload one video, that was a Minecraft one. That was just because I was thinking the whole day about that. Literally, the whole day. But that's not the point. Now, today, I was also thinking about this what if like a couple of days ago. But yeah, it was basically, what if Issei ate like three different devil fruits, that being a Logia, permission, and also that being of a, Zenin, or Zenu, whatever how the hell you ever say it, okay? Of course, this is where, or not Zenin, not Zoan, Zoan. I don't know why the fuck I say Zenin. Zan, whatever. I'm fucking retarded. You just get that. But yeah, so Zoan. That being Marco's devil fruit, that being Kazaru's devil fruit, and that being, fuck, I forgot the burial guy's name, okay? So yeah, just remember burial devil fruit. The burial devil fruit. The one where basically even Hawking can't even pierce through the fucking Devilfruits defenses because it's off the charts. So yeah. The guy that's always simping for Luffy. Like, he's always on Luffy's 24. He even destroyed an island that was literally mostly it was owned by Shanks, or mostly under Shanks' territory. And just decided to put the Straw Hat's, like, mostly flag on top of there, saying that he took this island over, it's now his. But yeah, or mostly it's now Luffy's territory, but yeah. Which, yeah. And if you, I don't remember where the hell did I see this, like, one chapter clip. But I remember seeing this one chapter clip where even Hawking, Armorman Hawking, or even Supreme God, or whatever, not Supreme God, Supreme Kings conquers Hawking with your sword, with armor Hawking embedded or whatever, can't even pierce through the barrier. So yeah. But that's not the point. Now, if you know all three of these devil fruits, yes, Issei's going to be kind of broken. Now, regeneration and being able to take some hits, because mostly the ice devil fruit cannot liquefy or any of that. Well, I mean, it can, but if you know how the devil fruit works, it cannot have that whole tangibility, similar like the same like other types of logias, like not darkness can't even tangibly, light, fire, water, whatever the fuck you think about. But yeah, it doesn't have a tangibility because ice is literally physically a physical manifestation of just ice. But yeah. So that's not the point. Let me begin into this what if. Let me shut the fuck up and let me just begin. So, we begin into mostly Rainer's kind of piercing Issei in the stomach with the light spear. Now, we go mostly backtrack. We go into mostly Issei, the day where he kind of got asked out by, mostly a girl named Yuma Amato. But of course, turns out to be a fallen angel that was only trying to kill him because of his sacred gear. But we go before any of that happening. Mostly, we go before a couple of days later. Mostly, or a couple of days earlier. We go into mostly Issei when he did get asked out by the girl, mostly Yuma Amato. He then decides to kind of go home, being happy, but of course he gets called by his mom saying that she wants some groceries, like shop done. So of course go get some fruit and other shit, and of course also some whipped cream, because she's gonna make like fruit salad. If you don't know what that is, I'm gonna just say there's basically a bunch of fruits like peach, apples, raisins, and other shit, okay? And also whipped cream, and then you make a fruit salad. That's how my mom kind of makes it. Me, the creator, or mostly my mom. But yeah, it's not really called fruit salad, it's kind of called sweet, or what was it? Dulce something, I forgot. But yeah, if you don't know what I'm talking about, it's just candy sweet, I think, salad, or something like that. But not the point. Of course, we go back into the water. I'm rambling on right now. But of course, he went to go do that. Of course, he goes to the mostly like a shop nearby. Of course, he didn't see like that many good fruits. But then he noticed, three different fruits behind this old lady. He's a question on the fruits because they look quite interesting. And of course, he feels hungry. But of course, he knows if he eats the fruits, his mom will scold at him. Of course, the old lady says, "Oh, you're talking about these fruits. Yes. I don't really know much about them, but my well, mostly grandfather said that these fruits were magical and mythical. If you want them, you can have them. Not many people are interested in them, she says. This is where, well, Issei says, sure. This is where his stomach growls and says, yeah, I think I'll take all three of them. How much do they cost? This is where the young lady says, well, you can have them for free. Not many people want them, so of course, they're not valuable at all. This is where, well, she says. Issei says, oh, really? That's great. I don't really have that much money. Of course, he still buys the fruit that mostly he was dared to get, but yeah. Of course, he takes the fruits home, mostly the three weird-looking fruits. They all have different, like, symbols, vortex or whatever, different patterns. He says, I could go home and eat them, but my mom would question, and why the hell am I eating the fruit? Or I can eat them right now and deal with the problem later. I'll do it right now. He starts munching on all the fruits in an instant because he's so hungry, but he doesn't realize the taste tastes so bad when he ate all three of them at once. This is where he goes, why so bitter? Fuck's sake. This is where, well, he actually wanted to vomit for a second, and mostly gagged, but this is where he managed to hold it in and say, that was terrible. That was some grade A terrible. No wonder no one wanted them. They must have been tasting terrible. Ugh. For a second, I thought I was eating fire. It felt like I was eating fire and literally physically ice, and then I felt like I was eating a huge ball of like hard fucking candy or something. What the hell? Yeah, but they taste so bitter. I thought they would at least taste so sweet because they seem so, well, mostly exotic or something. Mostly, yeah, or, well, yeah, exotic. Or not exotic. What was the thing called? Rare, legendary, whatever. Of course, well, he says, whatever, gotta get home. This is where he gets home, and of course, well, when he gets to his house, he brings the fruits, and of course, his mother decides to make the fruits, mostly kind of peeling some of the oranges, blah, 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 you get the point. Now, of course, this is where Issei is done kind of eating his mostly fruit salad, and of course, this is where, well, he's sitting in his bed until he feels like his stomach has been hurting. Of course, mostly the next day that he had to go to school, he didn't really want to. So, of course, he asked his mom if he didn't really want to because his stomach hurted. Of course, he was having a fever. Mostly a fever on this day. This fever was super fucking high. It was at mostly 200 Fahrenheit. This is where, well, mostly his mother was shocked and, of course, decided to try to bring him to the hospital. Now, of course, Issei didn't really want to move because he felt so sick, so tired, and very weak. Now, of course, is where his mom still just called his father, mostly Issei's father being Goro, to come to the house so basically he can get his son to the fucking hospital. This is where his mostly Mika kind of called Goro, but Goro kind of says, nah, he's fine, he might just be trolling. He has 200... This is where Mika says, he has 293 Fahrenheit fucking temperature. Tell me if that's fucking normal. This is where, well, Goro say, okay, no, he's not normal right now. This is where, well, Goro kind of leaves work earlier that day to kind of get Issei to the kind of hospital, even if he has to be wearing freaking, mittens, or what was it called, those gloves when you kind of cook stuff, and kind of grab him because he's that fucking hot. Literally, if you touch his skin, it literally feels like fucking burning. This is where, well, he decides to bring Issei to the hospital. Now, of course, the doctors are confused and why that's even a thing until mostly they decide to tell Mika and Goro to kind of go home to see, to see if they can, like, get him his temperature back to normal. This is where, well, they nodded and, of course, leave. This is where, well, Issei's temperature has been rising even throughout the night. He felt so sick, so weak, and, of course, couldn't even go to sleep because of all his temperature until he passed out. This is where the next day happens, and of course, this is where when someone went towards mostly Issei's room to check on him if his temperature went down, if they managed to kind of go make it down, the nurse kind of screamed in an instant thinking Issei was dead because his temperature went down of below mostly like negative in an instant. Issei woke up with his eyes being so tired and mostly a bunch of doctors rushing into trying to figure out if Issei is dead or not. This is where Issei says, what is happening? He talks out very weakly. The doctors are surprised that he's still alive, but his temperature is a negative now. No longer at the same freaking heat of being like at least almost 300 or even 400 because his temperature was keep rising. Now on the next day it was like going down. This is where, well, going extremely down, very cold. Even if someone touching his skin, it feels like they're literally touching what's it called? Nitrin, what's it called? What was that fucking chemical called? Nitroneon? No. It's one of those chemicals where if you touch it for too long, your hands is gonna literally turn ice and you can literally smash it into the wall and it shatters. So yeah. Or mostly permafrost. You can think of any of that. So of course, well, Issei kind of just looks at the doctors confusedly. His eyes kind of, mostly yesterday's eye color were mostly kind of shining like a bluish flame for a second. But of course, no one did pay attention to it, mostly except for one person, which are interested in Issei's eyes. But then it changes to now an icy blue color Issei had. This is where the doctor, who was actually specifically looking at Issei's eyes, were confused. They were a bluish flame last time and now an icy blue color. This is where he's very confused and very intent to find out the mystery with Issei's kind of mostly sickness. But yeah, this is where, well, mostly they are trying to heat up Issei as best as they can with heating machines and other stuff. Now, of course, this is where, well, they are managing to do it, but mostly Issei's temperature is at -1, staying at -1, not even going up or going down, just staying there. Of course, they are hoping for Issei to warm up the next day, so of course, let him rest. This is where, well, Issei decided to fall asleep because he felt so tired. So very, very fucking tired. Mostly when it was him being at -1 for some reason. This is where he falls asleep. The next day happens and nothing really special happened. Issei woke up kind of feeling weird. Of course, his eyes were a greenish color for a second, but of course they went back to a goldenish brown. And when the doctors were kind of seeing this, they were kind of shocked to believe mostly Issei had probably some virus or disease, and they managed to fucking save Issei in the luck of fucking time, or mostly that was just his fucking luck. Because it was so high the temperature that he was at, and now so below, and now he's just normal. Bruh. Like, what the fuck were you having? What the hell is this? Your fucking ice hot fucking temperature, what the hell? People are so confused. This is where, well, they just decided to call the disease that Issei had icy hot. Because that was literally what it fucking was. First it was hot, and then it was icy as hell. But yeah. Now, of course, this is where, well, now, of course, well, yeah. Mostly, of course, that happens, and this is where the doctor says, okay, you can go home, Issei Hiro. It seems your temperature is fine, you're back to regular health. Also, have you been working out? Issei kind of looks down, and he has kind of abs. This is where he says, no? What the hell? You know what? Let's just say that's one of the effects of one of the chemicals that we gave you. One of the, mostly pills and other stuff. Or we can just say that's basically your disease. It makes you physically stronger. This is where Issei says, huh, that is so weird. This is where Issei's poking his chest because he never has muscles ever. He never felt muscles because he never did ever try out to work out. This is where, well, the doctor's saying, yeah, I guess you, man, I now want the disease. What the hell? Give me the disease. This is where the fucking doctor says, I gotta pull some girls in. This is where the doctor says. This is where one of the nurses smacks him in the back of the head and says, ignore him. Dr. Phil is kind of a little crazy half the time. This is where Issei switches and says, yeah, I guess so. This is where, well, Issei was kind of going home. He was getting out of the hospital. Of course, he was walking down the street. He felt like he just didn't feel normal entirely. He felt all normal. He didn't feel his temperature. He didn't feel weak. He didn't feel tired. He felt kind of great. But of course, he also felt different. He felt like he can sense people from miles away. But for some reason, every time he closes his eyes, but it was so weird. He can also feel like he can actually punch a hole through punch a wall and make a decent hole for some reason. But he doesn't really have the urge to punch the shit of it right now because it would probably hurt his hand. This is where, well, he then looks towards mostly feeling like someone's kind of pissing him off. Or mostly a dog was barking, keep barking, and of course annoying everyone. Which Issei kind of had a little glimmer of annoyment. This is where, well, he closes his eyes for a second trying to shut it up. And this is where when he opens it and glares at the dog, mostly the dog kind of, for some reason, passed out. This is where, well, Issei was confused. Did he do that? No, that was impossible. Yes, if you know what this is, mostly Issei has the 3 versions, but they are much more powerful than normal. They have awakened and dormant inside of Issei's body. But mostly Issei is clueless as hell to know what they are. But if you know what they are, you know what they are. Issei says, okay, I gotta get home. Man, I feel kind of tired now. I was energetic a while ago. Why am I tired now? Issei said, God damn it. Of course it worked. Well, Issei mostly kind of bumps into someone with pinkish hair, but Issei didn't give a damn that much. Issei said, oh, I'm so tired. Alright, let's go tomorrow. Damn it. Issei is so damn tired. This is where he felt kind of weak also at the same time now that he keeps walking. He almost fell down. This is where Issei said, what the hell? This sickness not still done? For fuck's sake, fuck off, sickness. Icy hot bull crap I have. What the hell? This is where someone says, are you okay? This is where, well, mostly Issei kind of glanced up and noticed it was actually none other than Catherine. And this is where Issei says, oh shit, this is bad. This is where, well, Issei says, yeah, I'm fine. It's really, it's nothing that wrong. Issei covered his face and anything with his hand. And this is where, well, mostly the girls seem confused. But Issei turns around and says, I need to be going. This is where Issei runs off. Now, of course, he's not running towards his house because that was the other way, but Catherine is blocking it. And Issei is now getting towards his house. Now, of course, when he gets mostly to the park, he lays down and is falling asleep. Now, of course, we go into Issei waking up the next mostly day. And, well, mostly it's Friday. And he just has to get home. This is where his parents were already sick about Issei, and Issei said that he went to sleep at Morohama's house, just to make them believe, because Morohama is not that perverted that much. Well, he is, but he's not like Matsui, so of course you can trust Morohama. So of course it was kind of a complete lie, but mostly his parents doesn't call Morohama's house, because, well, fuck that, they don't care about him that much. Now, of course, this is where, well, Issei said, yeah, that's all I went to go check on, yeah. This is where his parents says, don't make us sick and worry about you again, okay? Issei, and call us next time when you're going to go to your friend's house. He says, yeah, of course. Issei went to take a shower and, of course, gets ready to get to school. Of course, his mom asks him if he's really wanted to go to school or if he still feels kind of tired and sick. Issei thinks about it and says, you know what, I still feel very tired and sick. This is where, well, his mother then nodded and says, I will go to the school to inform them that you're still sick and tired. Now, of course, this is where, well, Mika says, well, I gotta be going to the shop. I'll be gone for about 2 hours, okay? Don't worry, if you have any problems, just call me. And if you feel extremely sick and tired again, just call the hospital. Get them an ambulance or something. This is where Issei switches up and says, yes, Mom, I'll be fine. This is where his father already left for work, and this is where, well, Issei kind of was wondering what to do. He feels different. Very, very different. He doesn't feel normal ever again. Ever since that day, he ate those 3 fruits, thinking maybe he got food poisoning from them, and then decides to become icy fucking hot. But this is where he's confused, but doesn't care. Of course, well, he also feels very normal and energetic sometimes, but lazy at the same time. He says, man, maybe I should take a nap. Yeah, maybe I should do that. He says to himself very easily. Doesn't work well. His eyes glitter for a second to be purple until they change back to normal to a goldenish brown. Doesn't work well. He then kind of goes upstairs. Notice his was a calm, mostly gaming device. That being what's called an Xbox 360. You want on an Xbox 360? Xbox One, well, Series One or no, not Series One. Yeah, you want one of those. This is where, well, he decides to kind of hop on and play video games for a while. So, of course, mostly when 2 hours pass and this is where he hears the door open, he decides to just turn off the game. He was playing GTA and, of course, turn off the game, kind of go into his bed and go to sleep. But, yeah. Just so his mom doesn't know that he's feeling okay. This is where, well, his mom kind of goes in and knocks at Issei's door to see if he's okay or if he's still sick. Issei says, yes, Mom. This is where Issei said in a very tired, very tone of voice. This is where Mika says, oh, I'm sorry, Issei. I thought you were not sleeping. Issei says, no, I am kind of sleeping. I'm tired. This is where Mika nods and says, okay, I'll be leaving. This is where, well, she says, I did bring food and if you want to come down and eat. Issei nodded and says, thank you, Mom. This is where, well, mostly Mika went off to kind of go and decides to cook some food for mostly her husband kind of coming back home later on. This is where, well, the next day happens, and it's Saturday, and Issei could have gone on that date with Yuma or could have ignored it, but decides to do it because he feels like it would be a good idea, maybe to get him out of this sickness state for a second. So of course this is where, well, mostly he's trying to go to the date. Now of course he gets there like 20 minutes late because mostly, well, he's tired as hell. He does have a black suit, mostly like a black shirt, black suit, and of course what he pretty much just looks like is like this. He pretty much just looks like straight up Song Jin-woo in this outfit, but yeah. And of course he did get his hair kind of shaved a little bit like Song Jin-woo. Of course his hair did become a little bit darker than normal, but of course he never did mind it and how the fuck it become darker, but whatever. Now of course this is where, well, Issei didn't really care too much, but this is where, well, Issei kind of go on with his date, mostly seeing Yuma, and Yuma kind of sees this, and this is where she had a faint taint of blush, wondering who this handsome man is right now in front of her. This is where Issei says, yo, sorry about being late on our first date. I've just been very sick this past kind of couple of days. This is where, well, mostly Yuma is shocked. This is where she never actually asked out this person, and kind of question who exactly his name is exactly. This is where Issei says, the name's Issei Hyodo. Do you not remember me? I might look different, but just maybe paler and weaker and sicker than normal, but you can't see through it, can't you? This is where, well, mostly Yuma is just dumbfounded seeing Issei. This is not Issei. There's no way in hell this is Issei. The same nerdy boy that she asked out a while ago. Hell no. She refuses to. No. Not just in a couple of days. He fucking decides to get the supermodel body right now. Right in front of her. Which she's having such a blood nose right now. This is where, well, she wiped off the blood nose so fast that mostly Issei didn't catch on. But he managed to catch on. He was confused, but this is where, well, mostly Issei says, so do you want to go somewhere on our first date? This is where Yuma nodded. Right now, kind of just saying shyly, as a cute little girl disguised act. But really much, it wasn't even an act. It was literally just herself. Right now, acting like a shy girl around Issei. Like a shy schoolgirl next to her playboy. But this is where, well, they go on with their date. Kind of going similar to that of original canon, but mostly Yuma was more blushing. And kind of really not wanting to kill Issei. She really was against killing Issei after kind of seeing Issei's new look. Now, of course, this is where, well, at the very end, she decided to actually have to kill him. So, of course, it worked well. She throws a light spear into Issei's chest right now, killing him. This is where, well, Issei was shocked and dumbfounded, falling down to the ground. And kind of just saying, well, at least he put me out of my misery, Issei said. So, kind of coldly, and didn't really care because he was already sick. He probably already had cancer. It was just like a matter of time if he was going to die. Issei kind of chuckles and smiles with such a bloody grin, and this is where, well, he then was like closing his eyes. Yuma didn't really want to, but of course she was actually feeling terrible now after seeing Issei like right now smile and bloody, and this is where, well, she did laugh like a maniac, but this is where now she's regretting it an instant. This is where she wanted to actually kind of grab Issei, but this is where she needed to go back towards mostly church to kind of mostly say that she finished her plan. This is where she flies away with her wings away, but yeah. Of course, this is where Issei, he's unconscious right now. Well, unconscious. I should also mention that he never did get the flyer of mostly from Rias or mostly, well, there was mostly two people eyeing him, and that was mostly Rias and Sona. But of course, they never did manage to give him the flyers of mostly the wish for anything, because, well, Issei got there like 20 minutes later. Because, well, yeah, and Yuma was the only one just sitting there. Mostly the double, what's it called? What was it called? So the familiars never went up to Yuma because Yuma knows that they're devils, so of course, well, devil familiar, so she is always on guard with that, but yeah. So of course, with that happening, Issei was the only one that just didn't get a freaking, well, mostly flyer, so that didn't really happen. Issei was dying slowly, but we go into his unconscious. He feels like a rush of flowing power running through his body. Right now, it feels so warm, so warm indeed to actually heal his body in an instant. He then also feels cold in one hand, mostly his left hand, and in his right hand, he feels like this ball appears in his like hand, mostly around, like if it was a barrier or something. This is where Issei opened his eyes in an instant. Right now, they were shining a very brightish purplish color, and of course, around him, mostly everything got pushed away in an instant. Issei woke up in an instant. Of course, whoever was near, mostly Issei, literally got knocked out in an instant. That was none other than Koneko. Koneko was going to tell Rias, was about to contact her, until this flush of, rushing power right now dominate her in an instant. Right now pushing her down to the ground and making her pass out in an instant, unconsciously. Issei felt her energy just being around him, and this is where Issei said, "What the hell was that? That's not the point." He said when he got up, he felt like he still had a hole, mostly in his chest, but mostly this blue flame was actually appearing on there. Right now, putting his chest together back again, instead of having that hole. He says, "What exactly happened? Is this blue flame looks familiar, like that fruit. What exactly is happening? Whatever's happening, Yuma, no, whatever her name was a weird fallen angel type. Maybe I should go home. Maybe I've just been shrunken too much, but then there's a hole in me. So, my father and mom was gonna think something kinky as hell happened to me. Oh god, no, please don't." This is where, well, you see, before leaving, he decided to go check on mostly Koneko, to check on why Koneko was there following him. And when Issei gets close, he then kind of just narrow his eyes, seeing Koneko pass out. And this is where, well, Issei says, "Why is this white-haired girl kind of following me? Actually, she's been following me ever since on this date. I've been actually being able to find her location. How the hell would I stop her from actually following me ever again? It's not like I can just freeze her." His hand, mostly his left hand, kind of glows into this icy kind of color. And this is where steaming some ice, and this is where Issei decides to just touch her and let her an ice, mostly an ice kind of a barrier around her, let her cover her up. Issei says, "That's new, very new. So new entirely. This icy feeling feels like that time I was at negative degrees. So interesting. Well, I don't care. I'll figure this all out later, when I'm not tired and sleepy." And then yawn. And kind of just go home because he just doesn't care. Now we go into mostly Ria's kind of going towards Koneko's last location and finding out that she's encased in ice. This is where, well, mostly Ria's kind of headed to call Kiba back towards mostly their location to kind of use his fire kind of magic, mostly a sword that he can make out of fire, and trying to kind of cut the ice, mostly around Koneko to free her. But yeah. Now, of course, they don't even know what happened. Now, of course, Rias lost a valuable pawn of Issei Hiro. Of course, well, that's the case. But this is where, well, she will find out where exactly his body's at, so she can incarnate him into mostly her servant. But of course, this is where she doesn't know if she can be able to do that. Which she would try, but yeah. But we go into mostly a time skip of Issei getting to his house. Now, of course, this is where, well, mostly his parents ask on his date, and Issei just said that, well, she didn't like it. She hated it. So, yeah, that happened. This is where his mom says, "What's with the hole?" Issei said, "Oh, I accidentally left my jacket and mostly shirt down for a second, and, I should say, a flying rock managed to pierce through it." His mom says, "Okay, that's odd, but mostly with your luck, it seems natural." He says, "Yeah. Well, I'll be going up, Mom, Dad." This is where he seems tired and very depressed, it looks like, but mostly just tired. This is where he goes upstairs and decides to fall asleep. Now, this is where, well, he says, "Now, what's with everything happening to me? First I feel hot. First I feel normal after that date, or mostly the ask out by Yuma, or whatever her name is exactly. Then I eat those 3 different fruits. Then I feel hot in one day, then I feel cold in another day, and then I feel normal, but sick and dizzy for a second. And now when I go on to her date, she tried to kill me, but I'm still alive, and I still felt that energy that I just throw out of my body. It felt like I was dominating people by just my will, but it's so confusing. It also feels like I can feel other people's will around me, but damn it, what is happening? I'm so tired." Issei decided to fall asleep, but yeah. This is actually when we ended off here for part 1, but yeah. I will kind of continue it on later, but for right now, I'm just gonna cut it off here and kind of go on with life. But other than that, bye, see you, and yeah.